Hey, what's up everybody? It's Brian with Frugal Footprint. Today I'm going to be building an original design. It is a patio furniture storage bin. You may have heard these called deck boxes or outdoor storage bin. You can see them online. They're usually somewhat small and made out of plastic. To me it looks like they might not last all that long. I read about it in reviews and they're relatively small. You know, it might be for some cushions or a pool noodle, what have you. We have these 0G loungers, a handful of patio chairs, an umbrella, and they were all just too small for our needs. And I'm here in Minnesota and I just don't think that that plastic is going to stand up to the weather anyways. You kind of jump from a box to a shed when you're shopping for these things, and I need something a little bit more in the middle. So I figure the best thing I can do is go ahead and design something myself and make it out of lumber. We're gonna finish it so that way it should last us a really long time, and in the end it's gonna come in a whole lot cheaper. This whole thing will cost around $250 or less all in. Now that's gonna depend on where you're at, the cost of lumber at the time, etc. So it's gonna have a lid that can open up, doors that can open up on the front, and also I've designed it in a way where when it's not in use we can throw a tablecloth down, and when we have a barbecue, we have people over, we can put the spread there, you know, all the buns, all the fixings and what have you. So you can go to frugalfootprint.com and get a copy of the designs and follow along in this video series as we build this outdoor storage bin and turn this pile of lumber behind me into furniture. All right, here we go, let's get to it. All right, step one, we're gonna build the base. I have a treated 2x4 here. I'm gonna use the miter saw behind me to cut these out. And I'm actually gonna be cutting them at a 45-degree angle. And we need these to be 2 feet on the outside and then 5 feet on the outside. So, you know, the angle looks like this. The long part is 2 feet, the long part is 5 feet, 2 of each, and that's gonna make our rectangle for the base of this bin. All right, so here you can see what I was talking about. We have these trapezoidal pieces with the 45-degree angles, and then on the outside edge, this is 2 feet, and then up along this end, that's 5 feet on the outside. Next up, what I'm gonna do is zip a screw in on the outside bits into here. I'm using a 3-inch screw. The idea is that I just wanna hold it together. We're gonna put a piece of plywood down on this, and then screws down into it, which is really what's gonna give it its structure, but for now, I just want this held together, and I'll do one on each corner. When you're using treated lumber or doing really any outdoor project, it's important to get exterior screws. They're galvanized in a way where they aren't going to rust out and fall apart over time, so that's going to be your best bet, and these are the ones that I'm using for that step. Alright, next step, I'm going to be cutting out the plywood. That'll be the floor that goes on top of those treated 2x4s we just cut out. I will be sealing this to help keep it from rotting out since it will be pretty close to the ground. What I've done is I've measured this out 2x5 and snapped a chalk line, and I'll be using a jigsaw to cut out the piece. Alright, so next up I'm going to use my sanding block here just to clean up some of the rough edges on the plywood, and then we'll affix it down onto the frame that we made. I'm going to be using these 1 1/4 inch screws. Plywood is a 1/2 inch deep, and that should be sufficient to really hold it down in here, but it won't poke out the other side. Alright, so just doing those 4 screws for now. It's just 1 in the middle on each of the ends, because when we assemble the walls, we'll actually be screwing up with longer screws up through the bottom, which is going to help hold this in place even more. For now, I just don't want it to fall apart on me while I'm assembling. But there we have it. We have the base and the floor of our patio furniture storage bin, deck box, outdoor bin, whatever you want to call it. We have the base and the floor complete. Go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. We will be building the walls of our outdoor bin here. All right, see you soon.